Hi everybody and welcome back to the KK Zone. As always, I am Kara Kaufman, coming to you on Sunday evening after a long week of Yankees baseball. They had 7 games this week. They wrapped up a stretch of 13 straight games, including 10 on the road, and then the last 3 of this week were back at home. It's been a lot, but you know what? It has been awesome! What would you say if I told you after we lost the first Rangers game on Monday of this past week, the Yankees would get sick of losing and go ahead and win the next 6? Good, right? How about if I told you that those last 3 wins would be against the team that came into that series with the best record in baseball? Even better, right? And what if I told you that 2 of those last 3 wins were walk-offs? Exciting and so much fun. Yeah, it was a good week, everybody. It was a good week to be a Yankees fan. So, right off the bat, I have to say, I was at Yankee Stadium for the first time since 2019 on Friday for the first game of the White Sox series, and it was glorious. I actually did a recap of that game the next morning because I just had to get it all done. It was fresh in my head. So I'm going to bring you that first. Here's what happened in Friday's game. Hi, everybody. So I was actually at the Yankees White Sox game last night, Friday night, and I have to tell you, it was awesome. I kind of lost my voice. You can hear it because I was screaming so much. It was an incredible game by any measure. But I'm going to do the recap here, and I'm not going to time it because I might have a lot to say, and I don't want to limit myself because the experience of being back in the stadium, which I'll talk more about later, was unbelievable. But as to the game itself, here's how it felt from the stands. It felt like Carlos Rodon had everything working. The Yankees were swinging at everything and making contact with nothing. They had a chance in the bottom of the 3rd inning when a poor Nick Madrigal at second base made a double error where he had a ball pop out of his glove and then threw wildly to first, which went from basically a man on first who would have been doubled off into a second and third with nobody out, with 1 out situation. And the Yankees couldn't cash in there. Poor LeMahieu, for the first of 2 times on the night, hit a fielder's choice that led to an out at home plate. I feel like the Yankees lead the league in outs at home plate hasn't been so pretty. And once they didn't score there, in the crowd, it kind of felt like that might have been our only chance with how good Rodon looks. Meanwhile, they started having better at-bats and driving his pitch count up. But every time the Yankees didn't score, I personally kept thinking, uh-oh, this next inning is going to be the one where Montgomery gets blown up, and then we're going to lose, and it's going to be sad. And so I was so busy worrying about that I didn't notice that Montgomery was pitching as well as, if not better, than Rodon. He didn't look quite as overpowering, but at the end of the day, Rodon went 6 very strong innings, striking out 13, which is insane, don't get me wrong. Montgomery went 7 innings, similarly scoreless, and struck out a career-high 11 batters. That is really good, especially for the White Sox, a team that, they build a lot of their offense, which is potent, around hitting. Not around power, but around getting on base, moving men over. It's a really cool, balanced offense, and I was shocked, but in a great way, to see how well Montgomery was able to handle them from top to bottom. So that was really cool to see. Gleyber Torres hit a big home run in the bottom of the 7th. That's this could be it. This is going to be it. This could be it. And then last, in the very next half inning, top of the 8th, Jonathan Loaizaga got in some trouble. Yankees had a little bit of bad luck. Madrigal, again, hit a ball that wasn't hit very hard, bounced literally off the first base bag to score a runner from second. It wasn't a great inning, but he managed to nail it down and get out of it with a tie. At which point, the Yankees got shut down again in the bottom of the 8th. And going into the 9th, here's where things got crazy for me. They put in Aroldis Chapman in a tie game in the top of the 9th, which, I guess I get it, but I was worried because here's why. This new world where there's a runner on second in the extra innings, I want my best strikeout guy pitching in extras, whereas at least the 9th inning, it's going to be a clean inning. So I thought, oh gosh, they're going to use Chapman here. We're going to go to extras, and we're going to end up someone scoring on 2 ground outs off of, who knows, Chad Green. Anyway, I'm happy to say I was wrong, but it seemed like I was right. Here's what went down there. Chapman didn't have a great control, and he walked the leadoff batter, which no, you never want to do it. Next man up tries to bunt, which actually made some sense. This guy's, I think it was Larry Garcia against Chapman, no bueno. So he bunted and should have been a sacrifice bunt, but Chapman, tried to field it, slipped, fumbled the ball 4 times, and got nobody out. So at this point, it's first and second, nobody out in a tie game. Chapman has just taken a spill, looks a little bit not in the best control of his pitches, and also looks a little shaken up from falling. So I'm thinking, this thing's going to be over in a hurry. And then what happened? I will tell you what happened. Andrew Vaughn at the plate rookie who's supposed to be a really good hitter, not quite there yet, but will be probably for the White Sox. He hits a ball to Gio Urshela. So I watched Gio Urshela field the ball. I think, oh, he's going to get the out at third. That's great. And he does. Takes 3 steps, gets the out at third base. He throws a second. And I'm like, a double play getting the 2 lead runners. How amazing. And then as I'm thinking that, I watch Odor turn and throw to first. I'm thinking that can't possibly. He's out. Triple play. I about lost my damn mind. Everybody in the stands about lost their collective damn minds. It was screaming. It was celebrating. From first and second, nobody out, to the inning being over. I thought, I've never seen a triple play in real life before. That's true, I haven't. I looked it up. The last time that the Yankees turned triple play was, I'm checking my notes, 2014. So it has been a minute. All the interviews with the guys after, they're like, I've never been part of them before, which tells you how rare that is and how timely was that. To end the story of this game, though, then, bottom of the 9th, Tony La Russa decides to not put in super closer Liam Hendricks for unclear reasons, and kept in the reliever Evan Marshall, who was already in there, who proceeded to give up a single to Aaron Judge, followed by a single to Gio Urshela, followed by a walk-off single to Gleyber Torres. So that's right, Gleyber Torres had both RBIs this game. You know I love to see that. Aaron Judge scored the winning run from second base. Love to see that. And there was no drama in the bottom of the 9th, just hit. Nobody out, game over. Love it. Yankee Stadium went bonkers, and it was so fun to see. So Yankees pitching, meanwhile, after the Corey Kluber no-hitter, that was pretty cool. And then the following day, the Herman shutout. And then yesterday, on Friday night, Montgomery went 7 scoreless. So Yankees starting pitching has been literally unscorable upon for the past couple games. We'll see if Garrett Cole can keep that going today on Saturday, but damn, that was a good game. It was exciting. It was fun. I loved everything about it, and being in the stadium for it was really amazing. The energy was high. Love to see it. So I think that's all. There's a couple of notes I have written down about this. Some stuff. The starting pitchers, the 2 of them were both amazing, as I referenced. So first of all, they both had a career high in strikeouts on the same night. That was, again, 13 for Rodon, 11 for Montgomery. That's impressive on both ends. And secondly, it was the first time in modern baseball history, so at least since 1901, that both starting pitchers had more than 10 strikeouts, no walks, and no runs given up. 2 insane starts at the same time. And that's why watching Rodon be so dominant, and he has thrown a no-hitter this season already, let's not forget, made me kind of not realize how dominant Montgomery was. They both were on fire. Everything was working. They were carving hitters up. Looked amazing. And yeah, so that's for the Yankees, their 3rd straight home walk-off win, which is exciting. I'm kind of hoping over the rest of the series they can maybe score some more runs and not have to walk it off. But that being said, it sure does make for an exciting game. This is an all-timer for me, one of the best games I've ever been to, and it was so cool to be there in person. And also, the Yankees just won a game against the team with the best record in the bigs right now, so that's a great, great, great sign. Great game. Would watch again. Looking forward to the rest of the series. I think I was still on my extreme adrenaline high from watching the amazingness that was that game. What a crazy one to be at, and I am so thankful. A little more about my stadium experience later, but first let's go ahead and recap the rest of this series. After winning that first game so excitingly, I thought, can't possibly go that well for the next 2, and I'm pleased to report that I was incorrect. Should have had more faith. Yankees killed it. Let's recap Saturday and Sunday's games. I've got 2.5 minutes on the clock. Let us see what I can do in that amount of time. Ready, set, go. Saturday, it was a day game in the Bronx. It was Garrett Cole on the mound. You always like your chances. He was not in his best form early. He actually walked 3, which is very un-Garrett Cole-like, but he sharpened as he went. And best of all, Yankees turned 4 double plays behind him. Watching Garrett Cole get a double play was like a kid at Christmas. He was giddily excited about it. It was really, really, really cute. Meanwhile, Gleyber Torres continued his hot hitting. He went 3 for 4, including driving in 4 runs. That's right, Gleyber Torres continues to be an RBI machine since coming back from the COVID list. Also, Ford hit a long home run into the bleachers in right center. That was the longest of his career. It was awesome. And all of that ended up being a 7-0 Yankees win. It was a good one. The Dylan Cease started for the White Sox, and he actually looked really, really good early, and then he kind of lost it, and the bullpen was only okay. So kind of Dylan Cease and Garrett Cole went opposite directions. Garrett Cole sharpened up as the game went on. In fact, the last inning of work for Garrett Cole was 3 strikeouts, including the first guy struck out on 99, the second guy struck out on a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, and the third guy on 101. So, talk about still having it in the 7th inning, Garrett Cole did. This is a good 7-0 win. Yes. Now the Yankees anathema here has been trying to go for a sweep. They haven't been able to do it. Could they do it this week? Well, I've already told you they did. So yeah, they could. This one was a little bit interesting. Sunday's game, the final score, I will spoil it for you, was 5-4 in favor of the Yankees. But the story, first of all, is Jameson Taillon, who's been probably the least consistent of the Yankees starters, but he continued the streak the starters have been on. He only went 5 innings, but they were 5 scoreless. That's really good. Only 2 hits in those 5 innings. He was never in that much trouble, so that was really, really, really good to see for Jameson. In fact, the New York Yankees starting pitching. Let's look at this. Kluber, 9 scoreless. Then Herman, 7 scoreless. Montgomery, 7 scoreless. Cole, 7 scoreless. And now Jameson Taillon, 5 scoreless. That is 35 straight scoreless innings for the Yankees, which they haven't done in many a moon. So that was really, really cool to see J-Mo continue with the earlier guys that started rotation on a roll. Now, it's got interesting late. Gleyber Torres, torrid again. He had another 2-run single, killing it, Gleyber, to go along with 3 hits on the day. Clint Frazier also had 3 hits. He's coming around. You love to see it. But the end of this work got really interesting. Yankees were up. They were up 4-0 at one point, and then they ended up, they're up 3-0. Okay, I did not finish the 9th inning, so I've put 30 more seconds on the clock to time myself to get that 9th inning out of the way. Let's talk about it. Ready, set, go. Yankees were up 3-0, and then unfortunately Wandy Peralta came in to relieve Jameson Taillon, gave up a walk and a homer, 3-2. Gary Sanchez scored on some more unfortunate fielding from the White Sox, 4-2, but then Chad Green gave up a homer, 4-3. Aroldis Chapman comes in with a 1-run lead. He has been absolute nails. Pinch hit rookie Andrew Vaughn for the White Sox hits a homer off Aroldis Chapman. The first earned run he's given up all year, tying the game. Oh my God, so annoying. Bottom of the 9th, what happened? Clint Frazier single, stole a base when Gardner struck out, then followed it up with an intentional walk to LeMahieu to get to Wade, who had an infield single to load the bases for Aaron Judge. Walk, off, walk, boom. Yeah, it was really good. This was 2 really good games. The Saturday one was pretty drama-free. In the early going, it seemed like Cole might have a bit of an uphill struggle, but he ended up really not. As usual, the ace, when he has his slightly less than best stuff, figures it out. It wasn't the stuff, it was the command a little bit. So, he got better as the game went on. You love to see it. No drama there, 7-0. The Sunday game was a bit dramatic, and it's very unusual to see Chapman give up a homer. Obviously, it's his first one all year. It's his first earned run all year, and you're not going to be perfect the whole year. The important thing was, after the homer, he gave up a walk, but then bounced back with a ground out and a strikeout on a 102-mile-an-hour pitch. So, still doing okay here. The walk-off I want to talk about, though, because Aaron Judge, despite being one of the best players the Yankees have had for the past couple of years, has somehow in his whole career never had a walk-off. He's obviously been involved in several, but he's never had one himself. So when he came up with the bases loaded and 1 out against the White Sox closer, Liam Hendricks, who's been very good. In fact, he worked a walk. Now, the pitches were not super close, so it's as much on Hendricks as Judge, obviously. But Judge gets the RBI, gets to stroll to first base, and then get mobbed by his teammates. Good moment. Love to see it. And then also on Hendricks, somehow he wasn't in a tie game and start the 9th inning, and I get it. La Russa put Aaron Bummer in, who's also a very good pitcher, but it just seems like a great way to possibly blow a game. You had a real shot at winning. Whatever, not my team. I am pleased as punch the Yankees were able to pull this out. They swept the White Sox. This is their first 6-game winning streak of the year. If you feel like looking at the standings, you can glance over there. The Tampa Bay Rays have been on a 10-game winning streak, so you've really not caught up with them much. They are now tied with the Red Sox for first place in the division, and the Yankees are just a half game behind. Hilariously, if you look around the rest of the American League, the Yankees, technically a third-place team, tied second after a 2-team tie ahead of them. Any of our top 3 teams would be in first place in the Central or in the West, or actually in the National League East or Central. Only the National League West has 3 teams that are about as hot right now as the top 3 teams in the American League East. So that says something about how well the Yankees have been playing. Unfortunately, the teams ahead of them have been playing well also, but you know what? The Yankees are going to get a crack at the Red Sox pretty soon, so looking forward to that. But in the meantime, this week, a 6-1 week, a sweep of what was one of the best teams in baseball record-wise coming in to that series. What more do you want? Good week for the Yankees. If you'll indulge me, I want to say a few words about being at the stadium on Friday night. It was, for lack of a better word, magical. I've been to baseball stadiums a good number of times in my life, but having been unable to go to one for over a full calendar year made this so special. And shout out to everyone at Yankee Stadium for making it such a good and safe fielding experience. There was signage everywhere explaining the mask wearing rules, explaining social distancing. The seated section I was in, the bleachers in right field, was a distance section, so there were whole swaths of bench taped off to indicate where the seating pods could be, and no one else could be out there. It was lovely. Being out on a gorgeous night in the Bronx, and obviously the game I got to see was beyond excellent. But even before that, we got there when the gates opened. I went with my roommate, and it felt like there was no one there. And there eventually were 14,000 plus fans there. But when we got there early, it felt like wandering around this great cathedral almost by ourselves, and it was peaceful, and also just felt the amazing baseball energy in there. I loved every second of it. So that was a really cool experience, and shout out to Danny Mendick of the White Sox, who tossed me my first ever souvenir baseball during White Sox batting practice. I got a baseball! And the Yankees got a win. What more do you want? The crowd was certainly rambunctious. We were right next to the bleacher creature section, so we got to hear the whole roll call. The creatures attempted to roll call Corey Kluber following his road no-hitter. It was his first home game since the no-hitter. But, the Klubot was busy being recharged, so he did not step out to acknowledge. I thought it was cute, though. There were also, everybody's feeling that extra energy from being back in the ballpark. So, excuse me in advance for my language here, I'm going to repeat what I heard, which is we got some profanity during the Astros series. So I heard a little bit of "fuck Altuve" chants happening, which was, he wasn't anywhere nearby, but okay, sure, we're still mad at him. I heard one "fuck the Mets," which was a little confusing, and I also heard one "fuck de Blasio" chant going on, which, I don't know. I think New York's in a pretty good spot right now. I understand, though, the frustration with Bill de Blasio. This had no bearing on the game at all. I just love New Yorkers who have opinions. I want to express them in rhythmic chant at a baseball game. You know what? It was great fun. There were good fans around me to chat with. And above it all, when the team walked it off, I got beer thrown all over me, and I wasn't even mad because it felt so good to be back in a stadium with fans celebrating a fantastic Yankees win. If you are in New York, I highly recommend getting out to the stadium if you can, because it is a complete and utter delight. And it has been a moment since I have had a bingo update for you, but I have one today, so let's play some baseball bingo. That is right, I have got 3 baseball bingo updates for you. 3! I want to make sure that all of you with cards are tracking these. This is why I am telling you right now what happened. Yes, I know Melanie's already won the pool, but we're going to keep going because I want to see who else ends up with a bingo. First off, we got the square, Trevor Bauer goes on a rant. This Dodgers pitcher, Trevor Bauer, known to be outspoken. He's kind of tiptoed along the edges of rants a couple times, but there's one that finally qualifies, in my mind, and I make the rules of my mind's own that matters, right? And this was, the Dodgers had a kind of rough patch, they weren't playing very well, and Bauer made his feelings very known towards the end of this rocky stretch. Dodgers right now, by the way, are playing great, but when they weren't, Bauer basically said something along the lines of, I came here to win and we're not playing up to our potential, which is very fair. It was a little more ranty and whiny than what I just said. It went on for a little while. It was a night he wasn't even pitching, so this qualifies. So whose card is that? Ronaldo, you have got, under the drama section, Trevor Bauer goes on a rant. You may check that off your bingo card. Another drama also happened, and I've talked about this one a lot, so this will come as no surprise. There was a square because I knew this would happen. The square is Tony La Russa has beef with his own player. This, of course, is White Sox manager Tony La Russa, who I knew would struggle with some of the young, fun, new school baseball personalities, in contrast with his own rather old school, more staid persona. And sure enough, earlier this week, we all know what happened with Yermin Mercedes, where he hit a home run on a 3-0 pitch in a blowout. And La Russa made his displeasure extremely known, to the extent that he even said that the retribution exacted by the Twins on the White Sox by throwing behind his player was justified. As I said before, this is all complete bull, terrible look for everybody. Definitely counts as La Russa having beef with his own player. La Russa and Mercedes not in great terms right now, which means that you, Karen, can check that off of your bingo card. And last, we had a milestone happen this week, and that is J.D. Martinez of the Red Sox, who's having a great year to date, was on a milestone watch for his 250th home run, and he went ahead and hit that. So Matthew, Red Sox fan, fun for you tracking this Red Sox hitter, you may check off. J.D. Martinez reaches 250 career home runs off your bingo card. Congratulations all on your newly acquired checked off bingo squares. And it is Sunday, and therefore we must give out some awards. It wouldn't be Sunday without it. And so, welcome friends back to the Zoney Awards. Yes, welcome. We've got some hardware to give out, so let's jump right in with our usual first category, which is Best in Show. There literally was no option here. This has to go to Corey Kluber because he threw a no-hitter. Corey Kluber, congratulations. You have achieved baseball immortality. You've thrown the Yankees' first no-hitter of this millennium. This is all good. He did a great job. And it wasn't... So I will piggyback on something that Mike Petriello talked about in his podcast this week, which is there have been so many no-hitters. We're approaching no-hitter fatigue. And we can think to ourselves, well, 3 very weak offensive teams have been no-hit twice each. Nah, does it really count? It does count. And if you were watching that no-hitter, Corey Kluber looked fantastic. Like, he could have carved up any lineup with the stuff he had. So, I will take 0 things away from Corey Kluber. I will give him all of my appreciation and all the credit for this incredible feat. And for his extremely impressive no-hitter, Corey Kluber is best in show this week. And every week there's at least one delightful moment. This week I'm awarding that to Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge, I've already done this whole bit, so I will keep it very short. It was the walk-off. He has had so many moments when, so many great, big, huge, exciting, game-changing moments, and nary a walk-off among them. So it was really, really great to see him get his first career game-ending RBI. So congratulations, Aaron Judge. I was delighted. He was delighted. Obviously, his teammates were delighted, and that gives us the delightful moment of this week. This award is something I've been noticing for more than a week, but it comes into play this week, and it is an award for Most Enthusiastic Spectator. There are a couple of Yankees who tend to watch games from the top step. They're a very involved team. They're close, they're tight-knit, there's great chemistry in there, it seems like. But ever since the Yankees acquired Rougned Odor, he has been like next level excited to watch the games. He was on the IL for a bit, but he came back this week, and his presence was immediately obvious because basically anytime anyone scores, he's jumping over the dugout wall or running up the steps to go greet them at home plate, congratulate them. Even today on Sunday, Gary Sanchez scored from second on what should have probably been, if not double play, at least a fielder's choice, but the ball was thrown away, and so instead of just being at third, he got to trot home. Odor, the second he sees this happening, is sprinting over to home plate to congratulate Gary. I love it. It is lovely how invested and excited he is. What a great energy Odor has brought to the team. You know, A+ teammate stuff there. So Rougned Odor gets a Zoney this week for Most Enthusiastic Spectator. And I've got one more award to give this week, and this one is Best Use of Downtime. Rougned Odor wasn't the only one to come back into action this week. We also got back Gleyber Torres. We all know how much I love Gleyber Torres, and this week, the guy was unstoppable. He not only did he not miss a beat coming back, it's like he actually gained several beats because he was having an only okay year, and you know, it took him a while to hit his first homer. That happened on Mother's Day. Then he had the COVID thing. It's been kind of a mess, but he came back, and what did he do this week? He hit over 600 and drove in 8 runs in less than a week because he wasn't even back on Monday. So that is jaw-dropping stuff. Both obviously led the team, and he just seems like he is having such better at-bats. When Gleyber first came up, what was so cool about him was their home runs were kind of unexpected because what he was known for was the hit tool. He can hit the ball all over the field, and that's really great to see. So he did that this week. He hit a homer, a big homer in that first game against Chicago, but he also just was spraying singles and doubles in big situations, driving in runs. He had all the 3 of the Chicago games, he drove in at least 2, including he drove in 4 in Saturday's game. So he has been seeing it great, he's been playing great, and when asked about that, after he, in fact, delivered the walk-off in Friday's game, he said that he spent the time when he was forced to be isolating, reviewing video of himself, and as he said, trying to remember who I am at the plate. Trying to get back to the hitter I am. So whatever he was doing, every video he saw, whatever maybe he tweaked in his swing or his approach, or both, it worked. I love seeing Gleyber like this. He only didn't win Best in Show this week because Corey Kluber threw an actual no-hitter, so that trumps everything. But Gleyber Torres was off the charts great on offense, easily the best player on the team, hottest bat on the team. I want to see this continue. But in the meantime, Gleyber Torres, you had to get an award, and so what you get is Best Use of Downtime. Okay, it is time to wrap it up with the haikus. There are 3 for this very exciting White Sox series. Let's go through them in order, starting with Friday's. This game had it all. Pitching, walk-off, triple play! And I was right there. Yeah, I've already said it. It was a thrilling game to be at. So many great things happened. Could have been a better Friday night in the Bronx for me and for the Yankees. And then for Saturday's game. Facing Cole seems hard. Gleyber makes things look easy. Their powers combined. ... Their powers combined lead to wins. Gleyber and Garrett combined for an amazing, easy, coasting win against a great team. More of that, please. And then from Sunday's game, another walk-off. Judge ends the game with a walk. Don't sleep on J-Mo. Yeah, I mean, I think the offense was most of the story in this game, but Jameson Taillon, he's been flirting with really, really good starts and hasn't quite had one. This was one. And if he can use this as a building block, then watch out. The Yankees rotation has been fearsome, even with him being kind of off and on. So if he can really find something and some consistency, everyone's in trouble. And I love it. All right, coming up next, the Yankees are continuing their homestand, welcoming the Blue Jays into town. So that should be fun. The Blue Jays have been scuffling a little bit lately, but they're obviously, like the White Sox, a dynamic, great, offensively oriented team, so it should be interesting to see what the Yankees do against them. Earlier this year, they played kind of mixed results. I'm hoping maybe for a good hard-fought series and some more Yankees wins. We shall see. This was an excessively good week for Yankees baseball, so I'm going to go ahead and give you an excessive quote. Is it too excited? Maybe. Do I care? No. I think they have earned this level of excitement because I am this excited. The baseball has been phenomenal. I am not sorry. This comes to us from William Shakespeare, the bard himself, from As You Like It, and it is thus. Oh, wonderful, wonderful, and most wonderful, wonderful, and yet again wonderful, and after that, out of all hooping. That is so many wonderfuls, and I feel that many wonderfuls. I am thrilled with how this week went. I'm looking forward to see what the Yankees can pull out of their hat next week to top this. So let's all watch together. We'll talk about it as the time comes. But until then, as always, go Yanks.